Violet here. I'm filming this video in selfie mode. Honestly, what about life isn't about a selfie? I don't have an Instagram account, Mom, but I thought that if I made this video and just showed you some of my favorite tips and tricks about how to take a great selfie, maybe if the video gets a few likes and a few comments, then my mom will let me get an account. What you can do in the bathroom is achieve a look that most people have to go all the way to the beach to achieve. So I'm taking out the pigtails, and what you're gonna do is actually get a blow dryer so that it blows your hair back. You're just gonna smile like as if you're just, oh, I'm just caught in a windstorm. Right in here. And then you just want a simple wind-blown look. All I'm doing is I'm taking a simple stool and I'm putting it right up here in the sink. And I'm gonna prop my phone up against it, turn the phone, put it on self-timer mode, hold the blow dryer back behind the phone like this, turn it on, and then it's gonna self-timer for about 20 seconds. And then you get the perfect photo. I think you're gonna love it. It's very simple. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica Hover. So good to see you. Why do I start these videos off with Violet? Mainly it's just because I want you to know that this life over here is not all that dead serious. We're gonna talk about deep things, but I also just like to make you smile. And one of my favorite compliments that I've gotten from my friends who've been seeing these videos is that they're so me, and that's true. So if you hang out with me in real life, you'll know that I'm somewhere in between dead serious and Violet. And that's what I want for you guys to have on these videos. Welcome back to the Think Pretty series. We are on episode 4 of, I think, 6. First episode, we talked about how we're responsible for what's going on inside of us. If we know that, then we can change it. Second episode, we talked about vision. Without vision, people perish. If we know where we're going, we will have a greater level of self-confidence and clarity. Watch the video, it's really good. Third video is about, discouragement, right. And that one, my main point was just that we will recover and we are resilient and we can do this. We just have to take it step by step, one day at a time. Watch that video. Then last week, we took a pause. Breaks are healthy. Also, I had friends in town, so I didn't make a video. But here I am, episode 4. I'm more pregnant than I was before. Boop. That's my son growing, 26 weeks, very exciting. This video, we are talking about, if you've seen my videos in the past, you may know some of this message, so it'll be better than it's been before, but we're talking about what you have. What do you have to give? Maybe you feel like you have nothing to give, and I'm here to tell you that you have something to give. So welcome to this episode. The more pregnant I get, the more out of breath I get doing nothing. It's awesome. In the Bible, there's a story that I love. There's a widow. Her husband was a prophet. He dies. The widow goes to Elisha. She's totally freaked out. She's like, listen, Elisha, these creditors are coming because I can't pay my bills, and now they're gonna take my 2 sons because I can't pay my bills. What do I do? My husband was a man of God. You're a man of God. You need to help me. And Elisha says to the widow, what do you have? And she says, nothing, except a little jar of oil. If you read it, it says like, nothing, she says, except a little jar of oil. So it like pauses after the nothing, right? So Elisha says, go gather as many jars as you can find from your neighbors, every jar you can possibly get, and go to your house, close the door, and begin pouring the oil into these jars. So she does. God does a miracle and he multiplies the oil, and all of the jars that she has gathered gets filled with oil. And then she goes back to Elisha. She's like, I filled them all with oil. And he says, go sell them. She sells them all. She gets the money she needs. She pays her debt. Praise the Lord, it's great. I love this story. In a time of life that feels scary or frantic or like, what are we gonna do? The question is posed like, what do you have? What do you have to give? What do you have to offer? And our immediate response is nothing. I remember this happening to me when I very first went to work at Fashion Week in New York City. I was there with an organization that I loved. I had no experience in fashion, no education in fashion. I wasn't even that good at dressing myself. But I was there, and the question was like, what can you do at Fashion Week? What can you give? And I was like, nothing. But I know how to get dressed physically, like put on clothes. So I was given this role as a dresser. I'm backstage dressing up the models before the show, sending them on the runway with a team of volunteers, and I got pretty good at it. You have to go quickly, and I got pretty quick at dressing these models. Eventually, through a series of really cool events, I ended up meeting some designers and getting to work firsthand as like the right-hand assistant for some really renowned designers. I got to speak into the lives of influential people and encourage models and do things that I never would have done, ever. I remember at one point right before a fashion show, I'm in a designer's like workspace helping her sew certain things onto her garments before the show. I didn't even know how to sew, but it all started with me basically having nothing and then being like, well, I guess I have this, and offering it and allowing God to use it and multiply it. And it got me really amazing places, and I was able to love people that I never knew I would be able to physically even interact with, let alone offer love and encouragement and prayer. I'm like praying over designers and models, and it was very cool. Such a picture to me though of what happens when you offer the little bit that you have. There's the nothing, and then there's the little bit after nothing. And when you offer that to people, God can use it. Another example is after I went to the mental hospital. Guys, that sucked. Kind of embarrassing, to be honest. And so here I am wanting to make videos to encourage people, and the question comes up of like, what do I have? I'm not very fashionable. I'm not very good at beauty stuff. YouTube is full of people who are really great at a lot of things that I'm not good at. And so what do I have? Well, I have nothing, but I did just go through this really crazy experience, and I'm learning some stuff through it. So maybe I could share that. And so I share that, and sure enough, I think right now the video is at like 70-something thousand views, my 10 days in a mental hospital video. And it's just a picture of what can happen when you move past your nothing to the little something you do have and begin to use it. There's a hospice nurse in Australia. Her patients are in the last 3 to 12 weeks of their life, I believe. So it's people who are about to die. And she began asking them, what's your regret? What's your biggest regret? And so she wrote a book about people's biggest regrets. And I thought the #1 regret was really interesting. So I wrote it down here. Her name is Bronnie Ware, and you can read her book. I'll attach it below. The #1 regret, people before they died said, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. She says, this was the most common regret of all. When people realize that their life is almost over and they look back clearly on it, it's easy to see how many dreams have gone unfulfilled. Most people had not honored even half of their dreams and had to die knowing that it was due to choices they had made or not made. Health brings a freedom very few realize until they no longer have it. We all have dreams. We all have little things inside of us that we know we were made to do. This video is basically me pleading with you to go do something. What do you have? How can you serve? Ask yourself that question. What do I have? How can I serve? The how can I serve is important, because I think if we're living caught up in our own selves, looking for ways to be, I don't know, like Instagram cool, popular, beautiful, better than other people, even if we do stuff that is meaningful, it's not going to feel meaningful because it's a self-centered way of living. But if we can look at our gifts, our talents, our skills, and our abilities and ask how can we use these to serve people, then whatever it is that we're doing will take on a more satisfying, meaningful existence. I think some of us have dreams from when we're really little that are super clear. Like you meet the people who've been like, oh, ever since I was 6 years old, I knew I wanted to work with homeless people, or I wanted to work with animals, or I wanted to be a mother, or whatever it is. They have this profound sense of this is what I was made for really early on. But a lot of us don't. A lot of us maybe have like little hints here and there where we feel like God kind of showed us when we were small, like these were the things we were good at, these were the things we loved. But a lot of us are discovering along the way who we are and what we were created to be. And I think one of the best things that we can do is nourish the life that we have and just little by little do stuff. Get the ball rolling. I think that once the ball is rolling, God can move it in the direction that He wants it to go in. I was describing it today as like a seed of a tree. Imagine if someone gives you seeds and says, this is a seed of a fruit tree, but we don't know which fruit is gonna come from this tree. We actually don't know what kind of tree this is. If you plant the seed, water it, nourish it, give it light, air, everything that a tree needs to grow, eventually that tree will bear fruit and we'll know, aha, that was a lemon tree or that was an orange tree or whatever. Similarly, if we take our life and nourish it, eventually the fruit we bear will help identify who we are, what we're made for. How do you nourish a life though? That's something that's interesting. You can look at a plant and know how to nourish that. I am actually exceptionally good at killing plants, so I can tell you from experience exactly what not to do with a plant.
Maybe it's because you try to feed it air.
I do. Take the air. Buddy, breathe it in. No, I'm really good at killing plants, so I'm not gonna be making videos about gardening. How do you nourish a life? You feed it air. You do breathe deeply. How do you nourish a life? Well, there's some basic things. I'm gonna tell you such basic things you're gonna be like, wow, why am I watching a YouTube video about this? Guys, drink water. Drink water. That's a really good one. Eloise was losing her mind earlier today because she's dehydrated. She didn't have energy, she had a headache, she felt sick. Once we gave her water, by the way, that's kind of a mom fail. I'm confessing that I'm the one who didn't give her enough water. You know what? I just Googled water facts for you because Becca said I have to convince you that you need to drink water. So here I am. Water facts, 7 reasons we all need to be drinking water. Science-based reasons. So people, water helps maximize physical performance. Dehydration can have a noticeable effect if you lose as little as 2% of your body's water content. Has major effects on your energy level, brain function. Are you feeling sluggish, sloppy, foggy? Drink a water bottle. Helps prevent and treats headaches and relieves constipation. I need to drink water. Oh man, I'm telling you all my secrets. And it prevents hangovers. You know what else does? Avoiding heavy drinking of alcohol. They don't list that here. And it helps with weight loss. So if you guys want to lose weight, I'm over here getting bigger every video. But if you guys want to get smaller, drink some water. You know what else will help your life immensely? Sleeping. Go to sleep. If you feel yourself going to bed really late, waking up early, and then relying on caffeine to get through the day, I know. Becca just raised her hand and I do that too. We don't want to do that. That makes you not able to think super clearly. And we want to be clear thinkers, energetic, loving people. What else? Kind thoughts. Because things don't flourish in really hateful, horrible environments. You want to know something I did yesterday? I wrote down a lot of the negative thoughts I was having about myself. I feel like in recent weeks, people have just said some stuff, and even if they say it joking, if it's negative, I like replay it in my head. Some examples had to do with my size, my mothering ability, my YouTubing ability, my just, you know, all across the board. Some negative stuff that I was thinking. Wrote it all down, and I went ahead and replaced it with some stuff that was actually true about me, or stuff that's potentially true about me. Maybe it's not true yet, but it will be true soon. I think it helped. I got done and I was like, all right, I'm all done. I don't have to think about all that crappy stuff in my brain. I'm gonna think about the good stuff. I do that with Eloise. I speak all kinds of positive things over her because I believe it will help her be her best. And what was the last one? Oh, connect yourself with God. I just think we're meant to have a relationship with God, and we figure out who we are by discovering who God is, and it's all part of this like divine thing that we were made for. And so connecting with God will help us to be our best selves. We can talk about it in other videos. I think I've made videos about this before, so if you want to watch them, feel free.
You did say eat healthy?
Oh, I didn't eat well. It helps you. Less sugar, more green stuff. It's just good for your soul.
Tell them about when we gave up sugar for 30 days.
We gave up sugar for 30 days. It's pretty hard. There's a lot of sugar in everything. There's sugar in weird stuff. Sugar in meat. Sugar in everything. But then we actually felt like a significant difference. And since then, I think overall we eat less sugar. Though I did have ice cream before lunch today.
Say that if you give up sugar, it can help depression.
Oh yeah, and if you give up sugar, it helps get rid of depression. So we did that. That was cool. Okay, this video is almost over. You were made for amazing things. What do you have? Nothing. I get it. What do you have? Nothing. Okay, great. We all have nothing. What do we have beyond our nothing? What's that thing that we can be doing right now that is something beyond, something beyond our nothing? I'm so happy you're here. If you guys want to connect with me personally and do like a phone call and we talk one-on-one about your specific experience, I'm thinking I would like to make myself available to do that. I don't know if it's technically like coaching, counseling, befriending. I would charge something for it, kind of like a session you would do with a life coach or something. If you're interested, I don't know if anyone would even be interested. The reason why I would charge is because it would go into my work week, so I'd have a nanny and my family has to eat and, you know, the things that people do to live. So if you're interested, I'm gonna include my email down below. Send me an email, let me know, would you wanna talk for 15 minutes, 30, an hour on the phone, FaceTime, in person? If you're interested in setting up something, I'm available, so we could do that. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I love having you here. 2 more left in this series, then we'll start something new. You guys are so great and really beautiful. I hope you have a good day. Bye. Who are you gonna marry, do you think? Lincoln. But I think Lincoln's marrying Mariana. Who else could you marry?
Miles.
Miles? Why do you like Miles? Why would he be a good husband?
Because he's funny and he prays to God and he loves him.
He loves God?
Yeah.
Oh, those are good reasons to marry somebody.
That's what Daddy says.
That is what Daddy says.